Hi, Travis here.
Who or what in the ever-loving fuck is this? Alright, you know what? Fuck it. I have a few minutes to kill. Let's do this.
Just so you all know, I'm going to jail because Scorpion Death Drop is a snitch. I'll be seeing Jaden's convicted murder brother Cade-ish.
I feel like the one way this list would be honest or genuine if he included himself. That's the only thing. I believe that this list would be genuine and a lot more reasonable if he were to make himself the top of the list. But let's keep going.
I've been writing to him. We are gay together. I'm going to make sweet love to him. Thank you. Bye.
Anybody else kind of think it's a little bit sad that he actually had to use his hand to count to make sure he had all 5 fingers up? Well, 4 fingers and a thumb, because the thumb technically isn't a finger. I just think it's weird that people that are this damn dumb want to pretend that they have valid arguments. Let's just see how deep this rabbit hole goes.
I want to give a shout out to all my friends and sexual partners, starting with Remington Blake Williams and Mr. Rican J, and to Bad Fox and Dakota Webb. I've enjoyed our storyline.
Because you fucking mong, trauma doesn't disappear. It doesn't go into an alternate dimension and then cease to exist. Trauma unfortunately remains with many people as long as they live, especially if it comes from severe traumatic events in their personal life, such as losing a family member, losing a friend, being sexually assaulted, being physically abused. All of these things can lead to people developing lasting trauma. A person doesn't just shed their trauma by going through it and having time simply pass. Time does not necessarily heal all wounds. It simply makes some wounds easier to deal with than others. The fact that you admit to being 46 years old in this whole thing later on, and you talk as though you understand something when you blatantly don't, just proves the point that you're a complete buffoon who does not understand a fucking thing he is saying.
And the guy with multiple group alts. Dice, who has 100 fake group channels, that all himself. Like Gnome Army, ETWT, and Idiot Mapping Community.
But you immediately decide to try to typecast someone as someone who has BPD, despite the fact that you yourself admit to not actually studying psychology. Another thing. If people state their opinions, they're opening themselves up for mockery and criticism. That's all there is to it. They can respond however they want, whether it's in a comment or a video response. No one is stopping them from doing these things. It's just the fact that most of these people decide not to because they realize that no one takes them seriously. Or if they try to, they come off as a fucking moron, saying a bunch of stupid things that only they take seriously, and everyone else just pulls it apart using logic and just points at them and says, yeah, this guy's a fucking idiot. Kind of like how people are going to look at you when you try to diagnose someone with a disorder that you yourself do not even have the qualifications to diagnose.
I want to thank Matthew Jacobs for informing me. And by the way, Hangman Charlie, pay your child support. I know your secrets.
Well, let me just say the following. Fuck you, you middle-aged, baby boomer, cock-smoking, useless, garbage, drug addict, junkie piece of human shit. People like you are part of the fucking problem. People like you are part of the world that got it so fucked up in the first place. You fucked up the world when your generation was in charge so that my generation gets to clean it the fuck up. And so that once we take care of some of the mess, our kids are going to be taking care of some of the mess, and then our grandchildren, then great-grandchildren will start cleaning up the fucking mess. And it's all because of a bunch of stupid, soft, baby boomer cocksuckers like you came into the world expecting everything to be handed to you, and at the same time you fill your children's head with the same bullshit unicorns and rainbows just to get pissed off when they believe the stupid fucking horseshit fairy tale you've been telling them since they could walk. And then when someone says a bunch of mean shit about religion and they criticize a bunch of stupid, sick fuck pedophiles, you start sitting there whining and bitching and griping and reeing to me instead of taking maybe 3 seconds out of your fucking day to listen to what the kid's actually hearing and try to intake some actual information from it. You're the kind of person that grows up and their whole mind is basically pre-programmed with all these bullshit preconceived notions about things that you've been hearing since 1923. And by that I mean, it's the same type of mentality. It's the same generation of people feeding the next generation a series of fucking bullshit. And because your own son is breaking from the bullshit mold you're trying to bottleneck him into by watching media that's outside of your wheelhouse, you get offended and triggered about it, to the point to where you take it upon yourself to find someone's personal email and bitch to them about whether or not someone's saying things that you don't like on YouTube, instead of being, an adult and getting the fuck over it. Honestly, fuck you. I hope you crawl into a fucking dumpster to die, you worthless baby boomer cunty piece of shit. By the way, this is going up online, and I hope that everyone that knows you sees the shit that you're saying and listens to the shit that you've said, because honestly, the thought of people reaming your ass for the stupid shit you've been saying is hilarious to me. If you don't like me, eat me, I don't give a shit. It's not my job to pander to some fucking moron who's nearly 50 years old, trying to bitch about someone who's almost half his age, essentially having an opinion that boils down to, I don't agree with these things and here why, and I'll throw some jokes in to make it funny. And then you come in like a giant fucking toddler at 300 fucking pounds and nearly 50 years of age, crying and shitting yourself because someone pokes fun at things that you don't agree with them poking fun at. Get the fuck over yourself. I would hate to be those fucking kids, really I would. I would hate to live in a household where their parent's a fucking control freak who psychotically obsesses about everything they do at 17 years of age. He's old enough to fuck someone his own age. He's old enough to drive a car. He's almost old enough to drink. He's almost old enough to vote. He's almost old enough to smoke. And yet for some reason you're trying to have this psychotic level of control over him. No fucking wonder he watches my content. It's because he wants to see someone with an aggressive, contrary point of view about certain topics. Because people find it refreshing to find someone who's not just nodding their head in agreement with everything someone fucking says. That's the reason content like this tends to do pretty decently, is because if someone's willing to stick their middle finger up and stick their tongue out, it's going to be a lot more effective than just mindlessly filleting someone's ideology, even if they themselves personally don't truly believe in it. I'm going to read this one last little thing he said. Are you a masochist, or do you just enjoy the attention you get from being a whiny little turd? Honestly. Let's read some more of this. Legitimately aggravated with your constant need to say a whole bunch of shit about people just to fucking dip out whenever they start saying the same shit to you. Like, why the fuck is it that it's okay for you to accuse other people of doing things and other people's parents of being things, but when yours actually are, or when people that you associated when you had that big falling out with everyone else actually did the shit you accused other people of doing? Because assholes like you follow them around with a GoPro, practically bothering them about stupid fucking shit. What are you gonna do? Follow him around with a GoPro every day to make sure that he doesn't watch this video? Go fuck yourself. All I have to say is, I hope that if, for whatever reason, if I happen to be passing a burning auto wreck, that I happen to see you inside the debris, while the rest of your family is completely unharmed. Have a shit day.